What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Hockey Town University. You are here with us, your hosts, once again, birthday boy Derek and Zach. Derek, happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I feel a little bit older today. I mean, I made it around the sun one more time and a little bit closer to death, so, it's feeling pretty good.
Happy birthday, Derek. Congratulations on turning 28. Hopefully you recover here during this episode because we got some pretty interesting stuff to cover. But before we do that, we want to take some time and say thank you all for joining us once again. If you are returning, but if you are new, thank you for joining us. If you wouldn't be as so kind, if you haven't done so already, whether if you're returning or you're new, hit that subscribe button. That goes a long way for us. And then hit the thumbs up button if you really do like this episode. That takes us a long way as well. If you're on Spotify, go ahead and leave us 5 stars by following us as well. That really goes a long way on that platform. Frowns upside down on the octopus. Right, Derek? Matt's mad at you, by the way, for not getting us any for Christmas.
Any octopuses? I'm sorry. I'll yell at my sister. She got this for free at one of the hockey games, I think.
Let's go ahead and jump into it, Derek. And what do we got today? Well, obviously, we are going to recap the Red Wings versus the Los Angeles Kings game, which happened on Thursday. Then we will get into some Red Wings news covering the World Junior Championship, Alex DeBrincat going to the All-Star game. Jump into the main topics, obviously, like it says in the title of this episode. Probably the main reason why you clicked on this episode to watch it. And then capping off with around the league news with broken jaws by Red Wings legends. Yes, we will talk about that. And so, Derek, let's go ahead and kick it off. Yes, the Detroit Red Wings played against the Los Angeles Kings, winning 4-3 in a shootout. Lyon did start in net. The Kings did score within the first 2 minutes. Kempe received a cross-ice pass in front of the net, which he was able to bury into the net. Kings quickly get another one 4 minutes in afterwards, I believe, to make it 2-0 by Matt Roy off a rebound coming down the slot off the rush. Wings played a very soft first period, Derek. It was just same old song and dance, like I've kept saying, allowing the Kings just to control the pace of play, and just I'm pretty sure they were outshot that whole entire period too. Let's see, 17-8 shots. They were outshot, the Detroit Red Wings. So what do you think of that first period? Seems like it's pretty typical of them, right?
It made me pretty happy to the fact that I didn't get off work in time to see the first period. I came in at the perfect moment, turning on Bally Sports just to see, I believe it was Confer score the first goal. I was like, nice. Oh, no, that was Fabry. He scored it, I'm pretty sure.
It was Fabry. Yeah, so going into actually, yeah, so it was Fabry. Yep. I have right here, Sprong makes it 2-1 with a strong puck battle win by Mata to get it out to the front with an opportunity goal. I don't know why I had that there. Must have changed and everything. But yeah, Fabry got the first goal. Then you got Larkin battling behind the Kings net. Gets a nice pass to Petrie, who lets it rip to tie the game 2-2 with a nice screen in front by Perron, which happened late in the second period. Joe Velena also got the secondary assist on that. So you're closing out the second period 2-2. So that's a great comeback by the Wings, which is something we see, but we don't really see at the same time. So I'm getting really tired of this. But
Zack, who's been saying that we just have to have no goalie in the net for the first 2 goals, then we'll throw them back out there? The Red Wings do so much better every time coming down from a deficit after the first. Why? I don't get it.
Hey, you know what they say, the most dangerous lead in hockey is a 2-0 lead. At least that's what we say in Shell. I guess it works in the NHL too. Same exact thing.
Every time, the worst lead ever to have, and coming out of a first period, it's just crazy. I mean, heck, we saw with the New York game yesterday too, even though no one's here to listen about that, but they lost, so it doesn't matter.
Then you go into the third period pretty quickly. Robbie Fabry on the doorstep makes it 3-2, 6 minutes into the third period, off a nice rebound off the goalie from Sprong with a behind-the-back pass behind the net from Patrick Kane. So, yeah, Patrick Kane started off the play with a really nice behind-the-back pass. He was behind the net to Daniel Sprong, who ripped it. Fabry there with the rebound, which is awesome. So, then you put this note in here, Derek. Can you make sense of this one for me? Impress us with how low this place got. I'm assuming you meant loud. This place got in the third. Go Kings Go was at battle with Go Wings Go at one point. Love all the Wings fans in Cali. Was that you?
Oh, yeah, that was me when I was putting all my rambling in there. But if you could listen to it in the third periods, every person you heard in there, you had go Kings go, and then they battled back with go Wings go. I was like, thank God California has some smart people, because I saw a lot of Detroit jerseys in that place. I was
Yeah.
like, nice. That's
When the
right. I
game
think everybody escapes over here and goes to the sunny places.
Yeah, when the game started, I didn't get to see center ice, so I was like, is this a home game? And then saw center ice. I was like, wow, there's a lot of red and white jerseys out there. I was quite impressed by it. So, yeah, continuing on with the games, the Kings did tie it 3-3 with Kempe scoring pretty late into the third with less than 5 minutes left in the game. Goes into overtime. Overtime was very hectic. It was very back and forth, but it does go into a shootout. Wings do win thanks to Lucas Raymond and Patrick Kane. Los Angeles Kings did not score in their shootout. So thank goodness Lucas Raymond once again and Patrick Kane once again closing it out for us in the shootout when it really matters. And so, yeah, great game overall. Honestly, Derek, Detroit battle back and forth. Just a really bad first period. Robbie Fabry doing good with getting 2 goals. Sprong getting 2 assists. A couple other players getting points in this game. Raymond and Kane really good in the shootout. Like I said, they've been very clutch for us. Lyon had a 40 save performance for us, which is huge. You know, being out on the road, going up against these West Coast teams, two pretty good West Coast teams, honestly, you could say, for the most part. And
I mean, San Jose, really.
I mean, they beat us.
Really?
You can say that. They beat us the last time, okay? They beat us.
Remind me, it's not good that they beat us either. That wasn't a pretty game to sit through.
All right. To be fair, okay, going up against a good LA team and then beating a poor San Jose Sharks team, you're walking out there with 4 points. You're undefeated in January so far after a very, very sad month of December, where I'm pretty sure you went like 5-9-1 or something like that in that whole entire month. So that's not very good. But yeah, honestly, huge for this team. First time beating LA since 2017 back on January 6th, though pretty much a year. Or not a year. Oh shoot, 6 years later. Oh my goodness.
That math is off.
Living in 2018 still. But no, it is Sunday. It is 11:30 almost a.m. while we're recording this, just on the record for everyone listening, so you guys know. But yeah, Derek, what do you think about the game overall in general? I mean, great to see Robbie Fabry getting up there. Robbie Fabry now has 11 goals in 27 games. Daniel Sprong has 26 points, 10 goals in 39 games.
I mean, Patrick Kane good to see these lines. I mean, I know it's not our top lines that are producing everything, but it's good to see that the production is going through the entire forwards line right now. Even seeing like Jeff Petrie, 2nd goal of the season. He did something finally for us.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what we needed to get him going. Obviously, not what we were anticipating getting when we made that trade, but you know what? He scored. He did something for us. The only thing I would say from watching that game is that I need Raymond to start shooting that puck from everywhere. Like, I had to watch both those, like, just on the power plays alone. He had like 2 or 3 opportunities just to take a ripper. And then he passes it backwards to somebody who's not even like having a lane to shoot. I'm like, buddy, you have a great shot. We've seen him take those rippers. He snipes everything bar down if he wants to. If he's standing above the hash marks and even above the circles a little bit, he needs to take that shot. He probably would have had 4 or 5 more shots last night and probably wouldn't even have to go to overtime, because I feel like one of those guys would have had to gone in. But I digress. Red Wings came back. They did what they needed to do. Showtime came clutch at the end with that 5-hole. That was pretty. I could watch him just 2 shootouts all day long. I'm not gonna lie. I hate the fact that I like Kane now. It's so weird. I'm still not okay with it. I think my body still rejects liking him.
Hey, that jersey, you gotta admit, that jersey is very beautiful right there. Come on now. It is the sexiest thing you've seen in 2024. I mean, if
he's producing the points he is, I can't argue it.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, like I just was about to say, he's just under a point per game player. 14 points in 15 games. What more could you ask for? 6 goals in those 15 games. I mean, I would be shocked if anyone legitimately said before coming and starting and playing with the Detroit Red Wings that Patrick Kane would be at a point per game pace. I don't think anyone really had that pegged on their bingo card. And if anyone did, 90% of them are probably lying, because I didn't think he would be that. I pegged him more to be half a point per game player, and I was going to be happy with just that. But going and talking about Jeff Petrie, like you said, Derek, yes, Jeff Petrie, I really didn't know what to expect getting out of him in the trade, but 11 points in 30 games. He's a +2 in the plus-minus category. There's still, I still don't want Jeff Petrie. A lot of fans don't really want a Jeff Petrie. There are definitely times where I see Jeff Petrie making quite a few mistakes out there, but like you said, I digress too. And going into, you talked about Raymond shooting, this team, like I said, Lion had 40 saves made. The LA Kings had 43 shots on net. We had 27 total. And the Red Wings typically hardly, it seems like, ever get near or over the 30 shots on goal mark. And I don't know what it is, but the Red Wings, even in this game, they blocked 22 shots. The LA Kings were on a shooting tear. And I'm with you on that train, though. Lucas Raymond just needs to shoot the puck anytime that the puck comes onto his stick. At any angle, just rip it. His shot looks like it's gotten better since he's joined the team 2 years ago, even from last season. And you see it. He is doing like that nice little toe drag, like right before he's shooting it for those wrist shots. I don't know what kind of slap shot he has, but his shot looks hard, and he's got a really quick release now, Derek. And I do think that we could have another Alex DeBrincat on our hands if Lucas Raymond really just hones in on that shot. Would you agree with me on that?
I mean, I would throw it into that bonfire for it, just because the fact that he's on a great pace right now, and if he just ups that shooting, I mean, one of every extra 5 shots, I say, has to go in. It doesn't matter the angle. It could be a bad one. I mean, heck, even if it produces a goal from somebody else, that's all we're really looking for. Goals don't have to always be pretty. As long as you hit the net and it bounces out, there's a rebound. That's another chance. I mean, it's a lot better than just seeing an open net than passing it back to somebody else because you don't want to risk missing the net. I'm going to tell you what his thought process is when he doesn't take the shot, but I feel like it's just a much more beneficial for us when he does.
Yeah, and Red Wings too. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league through defense too, right? So I don't know if that's just the way our system is implemented, that you're making all this passing and you're allowing the defense to be more creative and get more involved in the play, which is awesome. We want our defense to be involved in the scoring, but I wonder if that's just part of the system that Lucas Raymond now is adverting to passing it more rather than shooting to get the defense involved, or at least to get the other wingers involved. I really don't know, but yeah, Lucas Raymond, start shooting more, but I really do think that you could have a 30-plus goal season if you just hone that shot a little bit more and just start collecting those goals. I noticed that you were going on a heater. You're on a little point heater right now. You're starting to collect points. I mean, Lucas Raymond, he's third on the team. He's got 31 points in 39 games, 11 goals, 20 assists. That's really good, honestly. I didn't think Lucas Raymond was going to be at this point. I kind of pegged him to be closer to like the 20 to 25 points, only because of all the line shuffling that alone and what the team has suffered through all of December. But Lucas Raymond is coming into his own, and he is controlling pretty much the second line now, and that's what we need him to do, especially if Alex DeBrincat and Kane are going to be playing on the top line with Dylan Larkin. And so, Derek, I think we can move on, buddy. I think that's good stuff about the game right there.
Red Wings won. Let's go.
2 points. Won. Yeah, hey, undefeated. Let's keep it going with a win against Anaheim tonight, which is at 8 p.m. I'm saying this early, but just leaving it out there. And so, Derek, let's go ahead and jump into the Red Wings news. We would go into the main topics now, but it's easier for us to go into the Red Wings news and then jumping into the main topics. So
it's a little more important.
Red Wings news. Yeah. Red Wings news, Alex DeBrincat named to the All-Star team. Is it the team, or is he just named as an All-Star player? Is it even a team anymore?
I mean, he's named to it. There's no teams yet because they're letting them pick their own teams again, right? So he's just named the All-Stars.
Correct.
So someone picks him.
So he's just an Eastern Conference player picked. So he's his own entity technically still. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. What does that mean for Detroit Red Wings? You could still go and do a fan vote. Are you really going to pick other Red Wings? I went on there and I picked actually Mo Seider, Jake Waldman, and Alex Lyon. A lot of people are probably sitting there like, why would you not pick Dylan Larkin or Patrick Kane? Patrick Kane, that would be like his 10th time going. I'm sure he does not want to go anymore. And Dylan Larkin has verbally said, no, I don't want to go to these. And so that is the reason why I'm not picking them. And I'm sure that they would appreciate the time off. And we need to understand that they need the time off. So I picked two players that Simon and Wallman, they get implemented into tough situations a lot. Highest defensive pairing in the league. And so that was my reason for picking him. And Lyon just had 40 saves. So yeah, pick him. He deserves it. What do you think, Derek?
I mean, I knew DeBrincat was going to go mainly because he just has the most points on our team right now.
Yes, correct.
Most of the time, that tends to lead that player to being picked to go. Not on every team, but our team at least. We have enough points right now because our boys can actually score. So it's nice to see that. And honestly, I wouldn't be upset to see one of our defensive boys make it too, but hey, if you don't get chosen, that just means you have a nice time off. You get to relax at home watching all the other guys suffer on the ice still.
Yeah, I'm not upset if no one else gets picked. I mean, I could make that argument for even someone like Shane Ghostberry to be in there, but there's plenty of other players in the Eastern Conference and even the Western Conference, anywhere that you can make the case for over other Red Wings players than DeBrincat, Kane, and Larkin. And so, yeah, give our players a favor and so leave it at Alex DeBrincat. I think it's cool enough that Alex DeBrincat gets to go. I don't know if this is his first time being an All-Star. If it is, awesome. If it's not, first time being a Red Wing, that's awesome. Are you going to watch it, Derek?
Depends on when they play. Because obviously I have a weird schedule, and if it's on a weekend, I'm going to sit there and watch it all weekend long.
I believe it's early February 1st to the 3rd in Toronto. All right, there we go. Sweet.
I don't care that it's in Toronto, but...
Yeah. All right. Well,
can you tell Ellie to shut up?
In other news, let's see. Wings have won 3 out of the last 4 after going 2-6 in the previous 8. That's what happens when your team is healthy. So that's good, right? A lot of people were nervous. Well, shouldn't be anymore. Our team is healthy, minus the goalies, right? What do you take of that, Derek?
I'm happy everyone's healthy. Still scares me the fact that if we lose 1 or 2 components of our lines, our team tends to fall apart still a little bit.
Yeah.
That's probably the most worrisome thing I have right now. If we stay healthy, I think we're still sitting good in a nice playoff contending team, even possibly still. I mean, especially if Lyon wants to keep pulling out 40 saves nights. I'd rather not have that many shots on him. I don't want that many goals going in anyways. And the fact that we had 22 blocked shots doesn't make me feel any better either. But it was a win. He pulled it out of his ass. If he keeps doing that, heck, guys, this is going to be a good 2024 season then.
Yeah. You haven't been on the last couple episodes, so I guess I can ask, I think that this team still has a chance to be a playoff team, so it sounds like you still think that there's a chance too as well, right?
I do think there's a chance. It was a rough December for us, but we're not completely out of it yet. Obviously, we have to have a bunch of these winning streaks to actually make it like a contending team this year. And it's looking, I know last year it was like to get in the playoffs, it was like 92 points was the floor. Not going to be the same this year. I'm pretty sure the year before that was like 100.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be somewhere towards that 100-point mark, especially with how the teams are playing this year. Because we have all these teams like Philly, we got even Tampa Bay, who's not even doing crazy, Vegas, Boston, all these guys that are just blowing up, and certain teams that we didn't even think were going to blow up. So it's going to be a little bit more of a push for us to get there now, especially after last month. But I still think it's possible for us to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really possible for us to catch up to Boston, who is first in the Atlantic. But you look at the Florida Panthers, there's still somewhat is a chance. In 39 games, they have 52 points. Then you got Toronto, third with 37 games at 47 points. Toronto doesn't have good goaltending right now, so they're trying to do the best offense and defense they can to save their 3rd or 4th string goalie, whichever one it is for them that's in nets. Then you go into the wild card spots, and you have the New York Islanders, 39 games, 46 points. They got Sorokin. They're probably most likely going to be in the playoffs. I will be shocked if they don't make it into the playoffs. Philadelphia Flyers, I don't know what's going on with them. They might fall off, they might not. Who knows? But right now, they're third in the Metro. Then you got the New Jersey Devils. Their goaltending sucks. What are they going to do closer to the trade deadline? They got to make a decision here pretty quick, but they're holding down the second wildcard spot with 44 points and 38 games played. Then you got the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are fourth in the Atlantic, right before us with 41 games, 43 points. Then you got the Caps, Penguins. Then you have us, 39 games, 42 points. So technically, we are ahead of Tampa at this point. We are very close. It is a very close race. But then you look at Montreal, who's below us. 39 games, 39 points. They're only 3 points behind us. This is a very close race in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference, stacked. I think that the Western Conference has taken over as the best conference in the league now. For the longest time, it was the Eastern Conference. Now it's out west. Eastern Conference, Derek, it is basically Westworld out there. It is anyone's game. It is Wild Wild West. Guns a-blazing. That's why goal scoring is so high right now, I feel like, because everyone's just trying to take over and showcase that they belong as a playoff team. And every goalie is struggling this year. It is insane.
I mean, there's no like high level goaltending left in the NHL. What do we have? Vasilevsky, maybe.
He's doing bad. He's doing bad right now.
Either you're like,
yeah,
maybe Aiden Hill, but Aiden Hill's been injured, right? So
yeah, Saros, Hellebuck, Sorokin.
Sorokin hasn't even been doing great.
No, there's not really one goalie standing on top of their head with a 9.3 save percentage. I could be wrong. I'm really not looking this up right now, but yeah, there's really not three main goaltenders that are standing on top of their heads right now. And so I think if the Red Wings, if Husso comes back and he can stay competent after his injury, with Lions still standing on his head the way that he is right now, the Lions definitely still have a chance to make the playoffs. And I know you guys have heard from me multiple times. I feel like I've been talking about this every episode, but now that Derek's on, we really wanted to hear his side and what he thought about that. But as long as the Red Wings can keep scoring and they can somehow figure out the defense, I mean, at the trade deadline, they might have to plug in some defensive holes, whether if that's on defense or with a defensive-minded forward. Stay competent at goaltending as long as you can. I think you're good. Right, Derek?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking up who has the best records right now.
Let's see.
Aiden Hill's right now at a .933. So we have one goalie in the NHL that is above what Zack was hoping for.
Yeah, like you're looking at...
Like, I'm not going to count Lindgren. I'm sorry. Like, a .928, but how many games did you play for Washington so far?
Like, here,
Not
you
many.
even go... The easiest way you could do it is by going by wins, and you got Gorgiev at the top with 21. He has an .894 save percentage. Then you got Bobrovsky, 912. Demko, 916. Hellebuck, 921. Shesterkin, I forgot to name him, 908. Saros, 901. Ullmark, 915. We all knew that he was going to drop eventually, right? Him and Swayman had an unbelievable year last year. Sorokin, he's ranked 14th in wins, and he's got a 909. Swayman's got a 922. Andr's got a 901. Yeah, Aiden Hill, like you said, he's got 10 wins, and he's got a 934, and he's the only one so far that I'm seeing on this list. Yeah, the only one with 10 wins or more with a 9.3. So goaltending is very much in the air this season, and so the Red Wings just need to they're not going to solve their problem with goaltending at this point, it looks like, because every team is struggling with goaltending. So the best way to do it is by getting defense or a defensive-minded forward. Derek, we kind of went into a rabbit hole, so
we got drained into that hockey world there with goalies because it's a scary topic right now.
Yeah, so, okay, we both agree that they're a playoff team. Matt is kind of on the fence, if I remember properly. But, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the World Junior Championship because there were two very recent draft picks by the Red Wings that were involved in it. And if you guys have been following along with us, you guys know exactly who that is. And that would be Axel Sandin Palika with Team Sweden versus Trey Augustine with Team USA. Well, before we get into that, Sweden did defeat Czechia to make it to the gold medal game. ASP did register 1 goal and assist and was a +1. He played 20 minutes that game. He did get an assist that led to the game-winning goal, so that's good to see with him. Johansson did not play a single minute that game, single second in that fact, actually. And then USA defeats Finland 3-2. Trey Augustine and the rest of the team played lights out after the first period, coming back from a 2-0 deficit. Trey Augustine did post 2 goals against, 19 saves out of 21 made, 905 save percentage. And then the bronze medal game was between Czechia and Finland. Czechia wins. I don't even have to score here. I think it was like 6-2 or something crazy, or 6-3.
I think it was 6-3, but we'll go with it. It's okay. We have more important teams.
Going into the gold medal game, so yes, Augustine versus ASP. This happened on Friday. USA does win gold. They win 6-2, and free burritos from Chipotle for a year, which is the greatest thing ever. If Chipotle wants to sponsor us or this video, feel free to do it. I eat you guys at least once every week or 2 weeks, if not 1 week. So please, I love your food.
If you want to start a sponsor, I'll eat you every day. I'll get new sponsors every week if I have to from eating Chipotle. I don't mind.
We do 2 episodes per week. Then we get around 200 to 300 views, depending on what the video is about. So please sponsor us.
Chipotle.
Thanks, Chipotle. Moving along, ASP did complete this game with 1 assist, 23 minutes played. He was assigned as the IIHF Directorate Defenseman of the tournament, so recognized as the best defenseman of the tournament, which is awesome. It was well-deserved. Every single game he was playing 20 minutes plus, contributing everywhere out on the ice during the power play and the penalty kill. And so, yeah, finishes the tournament with 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points in 7 games played. Then you look at Trey Augustine, who wins gold, finishes the game with 24 saves and a .923 save percentage. Augustine finished the tournament with 4 wins. Probably would have been more if he did not get sick in the tournament. That is why the other goalie got some playing time. He finished, though, the tournament with a 1.75 goals against average, a .936 save percentage, Derek, and 1 gold medal. Johansson also played 12 seconds in this game and was given 12 minutes and penalty ice minutes for going ham on the USA player, Lane Hudson, where Lane Hudson eventually scuffled with him for the second time in that same shift and put him in a mean headlock. Did you see that? By chance?
I saw that. Everybody saw that who watched that game. That was hilarious. That 6'4" behemoth just got taken down real quick after not playing. I'm like, I don't like the fact that he's one of our prospects, correct?
Anton Johansson?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, correct.
Yep. Don't like that it was our prospect. Don't like the fact that he wasn't really playing much either and didn't really get the good showing that we were hoping from him. But it was still fun to watch.
That was pretty much his only shift in the game. 12 seconds, and he was given 12 minutes and penalty ice minutes. So that's not what you love to see. He got a lot of prelim time, not so much as the stretch went on, but he still got silver. So that's good to see, right?
He went home with a medal.
Hopefully he's a right-handed defenseman of the future for the Detroit Red Wings, because that's the position he plays, much like ASP. And so, yeah. Derek, what do you think overall of the gold medal game, I guess?
I mean, honestly, it's exactly what I was anticipating to happen. USA was stacked this year. The only real thing that I was surprised to see was Canada not getting a medal at all. After, what was it, 6-7 years of utter domination by the Canadians up there, not to even get a medal this year, and having Celebrini on your team, just to look at that and be like, okay, you got the best player that's quite possibly going to be in the draft next year, and you still couldn't pull anything off? Cool. I'll take that.
Yeah, Team Canada, speaking about it with Matt, their goaltending wasn't exactly there, and they've struggled with goaltending in the previous years. We saw it with Kosa in the last 2 years. very, very stacked team on paper, right? You look at the names, they got the names. You mentioned Celebrini, who's going to be a probably top 3 pick, most likely, if not top 1, top 3 pick in this year's upcoming draft. Celebrini's playing 4th line. You got Nate Danielson playing 3rd line. Then you're putting him like 4th line wing. I don't know. It just seems like that whoever was managing Team Canada was not managing them very well. And from my understanding, a lot of people have been very frustrated with Team Canada organization, or however it all works. They're just not very happy with Canada as a whole. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Team Canada needs to work on, it seems like. So that was one of the stranger things definitely to see in the tournament. But going over this gold medal game, I'm just happy that 2 Red Wings prospects got to walk away with medals. Sorry, Nate Danielson, but hopefully you get traded pretty soon here in the W.
Get some more good looks and get a little more point production. He's been a little slow this year compared to last year, so maybe a change of scenery is what he needs.
Yeah, I think part of that is his team sucks, and that he also joined them late in the season. Remember, he played with the Red Wings in the preseason pretty late, and so that carried into the WHL season. So it took him some time to get back into things, and so I think that's partially why. But yeah, all right. Well, Derek, yeah, continuing on basically, but we're gonna go into the main topics now. How would you rank the 2023 draft prospects between Nate Danielson, Axel Sandin-Pellikka, and Trey Augustine amongst one another?
I mean, I'd sit back. Our first round picks were fantastic. I like all of them. I like Augustine. I like Danielson, and I like ASP. I'm not going to lie. I would have 100% thought it was going to be the other way around, though, with the picks. Our first pick was going to be ASP. Then our last pick in the first round would have been Danielson. That would have been perfect. I'm not upset with where we got ASP. I still think that's a steal. Danielson, I don't know what the ceiling is still. Like, obviously, he's on a bad team right now. He didn't get to produce as much as he probably wanted to for Canada and the World Juniors. Not on him. That's just having a team after so many years. You can't continuously just be that good. You're going to have a year where you start to fall apart. The Red Wings seen it happen. We're trying to still get out of almost 10 years, so Canada has a little bit of a time to get back into it. But I'm happy with the way they were. Not upset with our picks. I'm happy that we got Augustine in the second round. That was a great pickup of a first. I know it was the first goalie chosen, and he was very much the one that needed to be chosen first because the way he's playing right now just lights out. And the fact that he's in the NCAA too, so he has a little bit more time to develop down there. I love that. So, I mean, I know ranking them, I say we got exactly what we were hoping for out of most of them. Danielson, I'm just hoping for a little bit more production. Augustine, hitting above. ASP, hitting way above. So, I say that was good first round picks for us, I'd say.
Where are you placing them? Is it Danielson, ASP, then Augustine, or is it Augustine?
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to go at that point. We got Augustine at 1, ASP at 2, then Danielson at 3.
Okay. Tell me why.
Well, Augustine, as of right now, like I said, playing lights out. He probably has one of the best goal save percentages, goals against that I've seen in the NCAA in a while. Beautiful run the World Cup right here. He's pretty much, from what I'm seeing him playing compared to Kosa, he's far above even Kosa would be at this point at the same age. So just by seeing how his production has been, and of course ASP's over there, just everyone saying the next Erik Karlsson. I don't want to technically him being the next Erik Karlsson. I want a little bit more defensive minded Erik Karlsson. That'd be cool. I'm like, okay, you can score, but can also play on the back end, which it's looking like ASP can. He has good skating. He has good movement, good flow out there. He can get back when he needs to, and he knows when to take the shot. So that's why I put him at number 2. And Danielson, I just don't think we've seen enough of him yet. We need to get him on a good team, get his production moving, and then maybe he'll bounce back up towards the top there. But right now he's sitting at 3.
Okay. Yeah, and I asked why only because I'm kind of right there with you, but I'm between ASP and Trey Augustine. I do think that I would put ASP ahead of Trey Augustine only because ASP has a higher shot of making the wings first before Augustine. Don't get me wrong. I think if Augustine has a fantastic, more lights out than what he's currently doing. And right now I'm currently my computer's running slow, so I'm trying to look it up on my phone. Trey Augustine stats with MSU currently. And so, yeah, the only reason why I'm picking ASP I'm going to pick ASP, Augustine, then Nate Danielson. ASP, it's there, right? And so I do think that he has the ability to make the jump right away. However, all Augustine really needs to do is if he has a super lights out season next season with Michigan State University and the NCAA, I can see him making the jump as early as after the deadline next season. I think the Red Wings could give him some look if Kosa still doesn't seem like that he's there. And that's quite possible. Kosa is looking very good. Let's see. Kosa right now with the Grand Rapids Griffin has a 901. Trey Augustine has a 916. In 17 games in the NCAA, Trey Augustine has a 297 goals against average, 916 save percentage for a freshman in the NCAA. 18 years old, going up against players that are 20, 21, 22, 23, sometimes even 24-year-olds playing in the NCAA if they want to be their 5th or 6th year, however old. I don't know. But that's where I'm putting them. And Nate Danielson, this is nothing against Nate Danielson, but based on what he has done and much what Derek said, it is it sucks that he did play with the Team Canada team that buried him and that we really didn't get to see too much out of him. He put up some really good points with them, so you can't really knock him on that, but I would have liked to have seen more, and that's, like I said, that's nothing on him. Yeah, maybe once he gets traded in the WHL from the Brandon Wheat Kings, we can start seeing a little bit more out of him. I'm trying to pull up his stats right now, but yeah, 25 points in 25 games with Brandon, being their captain, and then in 5 games in the World Junior Championships, he put up 1 goal, 2 assists. And I'm pretty sure he was playing under 15 minutes every single game in the World Junior Championships, which is literally nothing, and that's just garbage in my opinion. So he's only 3rd because of unfortunate circumstances, not because of anything that he's done. I do think that he's a really good player, but yeah, it's ASP, Trey Augustine, then Nate Danielson for me, based on those 3 picks. And looking back at it, you basically can say that you got 3 first-round picks out of it. Trey Augustine could have gone in the first round, and you got him in the seconds, but goaltenders, you truly just never know. But Derek, moving along, looking back 7 to 8 months later, did Steve and Chris do well drafting these players in their spots? You basically already answered this question, so
I'm content.
Yeah, you already answered this question. I agree. I think they did a really good job. Like you said, you could have made the decision to draft ASP, then maybe had Nate Danielson where ASP was taken. Had you have taken Trey Augustine in the first, I probably would have questioned you because you did take Kosa like a year or 2 before that in the first round. And so taking 2 goalies in the first round pretty back-to-back just does not bode well with fans at home. And so, yeah, good job, Steve and Chris.
Hey, they saw something about the goalie situation. At least, like you said, they didn't do first round, but first pick, second round. I think they're just getting ahead of they knew something was coming this season, and we're all seeing it right now.
Yeah, and we all knew that this draft was going to be super heavy, and it was. Going into that second round, there were loads of players you could have picked from. Trey Augustine was one of them, but you could have made a couple of other picks, and the Red Wings did. They ended up moving one of the 3 picks because they had back-to-back picks. They moved one of them, but they picked project players, which I don't necessarily agree with, but we'll just have to wait and see. It is what it is. But Derek, moving along, looking at 4 years into the future and talking about some of these players that we just mentioned, like ASP, Danielson, and Trey Augustine, let's look at 4 years into the future of the Detroit Red Wings, right? And so Steve Yzerman has been in charge for what? This is technically his 5th season, right? Going into being his 5th year. So He already started off with Larkin, and ever since then, he's just been adding, right? So in 4 years, you're going to have Larkin and Danielson as your 1 and 2C, hopefully, right? You're going to have Seider and Axel Sandin Palika as your 1 and 2 right-handed D pair. You're going to have Kosa and Augustine as your 1A and 1B 10D tandem situation, hopefully. Hope it's probably not going to be Lyon or Huso. Who else could it be at this point, right? And so that's what we got in 4 years from now. And I do think both of these goalies could be on the team in 4 years. Now, this is where it starts to get a little tricky, Derek, because we really haven't quite figured this out yet. Is that we got Edvinsson as your potential number 1 left-handed defenseman. Who's going to be the number 2? And then for Raymond, you got your number 1 winger. Who technically is the second? I mean, you got like left-handed D, you got Johansson, you got Wallander, then on winger, you got Berggren, Carter Mazur. These names that I just said, are these number 2 pairing guys? You look at Edvinsson, he can't even make it onto this lineup. When are these players ever going to make it onto the lineup? Berggren can't even make it onto the lineup. Some of these players that I named off, are they going to have to end up being traded? I mean, or is Steve Yzerman going to have to start looking at some of these positions? Because I'm thinking that Steve Yzerman going into this draft, people probably aren't going to like this, and I'm going to say it into the mic. He's going to draft defenseman.
That was terrifying to hear that closely. That was some ASR.
Yeah.
Oh.
ASMR. Yeah.
No, I don't want to leave that from you, Zach. Thank you, though.
I think going into this draft, he's going to draft another defenseman, and there's some pretty good defensemen in this draft. But yeah, Derek, what do you think about these names, and what do you think about it looking 4 years into the future?
Well, I'm trying to think of our lineups right now, and the fact that in 4 years, it's pretty much just going to be butchered down. That's when pretty much all these contracts are up, and no one you see in the team right now potentially will be on the team again. So we're going to have a lot of spots to fill. And the whole Grand Rapids, given Evanson, Bergeron, all those guys, like, I don't know how they haven't been pulled up yet. Evanson being one of the ones that blows my mind. He's destroying it down in Grand Rapids. I think he has 19 points in like 30 games or something right now. Came down a little bit on the point streak, but still he's dominating out there on the ice. And when he comes up and plays with us, he's actually doing well. Like, again, I put it out there. Why don't we have the guy that's going to make the same mistakes as the veterans come up and actually learn from those mistakes, instead of having the veterans continuously make the same mistakes, and they're not going to learn anymore because they're in their 30s? Like, they're at the end, like Petrie, at the end, like, this is his last run right now. Like, let's be honest, he's not going to be traded off anywhere. He has a 2-year deal with the Red Wings, and he's probably going to retire here with us.
He's got to move no trade clause too, so you can't even trade him. The only thing that you can do, and he's got 1 more year left, you can buy him out, you can bury him. But that's part of the issue too, Derek. And sorry, I'm cutting you off here, but maybe this will get you going too. Is that next year, when you go into the offseason, the Red Wings have 1 spot open on defense. Only 1 player will not be on this team based on their contract ending. And so now you have 6 defensemen still. You basically have to buy out someone, trade someone, or bury them next season if you want Simon Edvinsson to make this team. You have like 4 left-handed defensemen right now. You have Wallman, you have Sherratt, you have Mata. I already said, yeah. And then, do you want to bring Ghost Bear back?
I'd like Ghost Bear back. I'm not going to lie. Exactly. He's the one player that's been doing something.
So then how does Simon Edvinsson fit into this? Eventually, you either have to, I think you buy out Petrie, right?
Or we got to do some trading in here.
And then you have to trade Mata or something. I mean, then you have Justin Hall for another 2 years, who plays on and off. And he's been looking worse as time goes on.
He's giving me more Petrie back right now.
Steve has a lot of work to do this offseason, but when does someone like Simon Edvinsson make the lineup? And that's when I started asking, you got Wallander, Johansson, when are these guys going to make the lineup? Eventually, you're going to have to trade them. And is that when you say, okay, we trade Johansson and Wallander for a winger to match Raymond? Because we don't have a top winger when you have Berggren, who can't even crack the lineup, and then Mazur. Like maybe they can make it next year, but how many freshman prospects do you want? First year players do you want on this roster next year?
I mean, I want a couple of them. There's a few players that just need to be up with us, but at the same time, after this season is the only the last season that they can be stuck down there. That's the thing. These players need to get up. They're getting old enough. They're supposed to be in the league basically. Well, Edmonton, I'd say now, but next year would be literally the ceiling for when they're supposed to be in the league. And they all have the skills to actually be up here right now. Some more than others, but they could still be producing either for us or, Stevie, start making some magic, get some first round, second round picks for some of these high end players that we have. We just can't let them sit down there collecting dust on Grand Rapids, a team that, again, not very good besides our star prospects that we have down there.
Yeah, and with those players I named off and going off of what you were saying, I don't think that you're going to trade some of these players to get picks. You're going to start trading them for players that can fill in roles for you now, right? Is that, you look at the lineup for the Red Wings, and we really don't have a top left winger, Derek. We put Alex DeBrincat on the left. He shoots right. Then you have Lucas Raymond, who also shoots right. You have Patrick Kane, who's a right winger. Daniel Sprong.
Is Perron a left hand?
Perron's a right hand.
God, Jesus Christ, we don't have any lefties on our forward, do we? I did not realize that until now.
And so that's where Berggren and Mazur come in. And so if you're so full on left-handed defensemen, you're obviously going to bring up Edvinsson, right? And I know we're supposed to be talking about 4 years in the future, but you have to talk now because some of these players might not be here 4 years into the future. And so I can see a world where Johansson and Wallander are traded for probably a forward player, a left-handed or left-handed winger, because that's what we need. And then you look at players even like Marco Kasper really isn't thriving like we thought he would. You have Nate Danielson coming up. Amadeus Lombardi. Zack can play center too if he wants to. I don't even know what he's going to be like either. And so we have a lot of what ifs with these prospects. And I get that people want these prospects to make the team. And I said this on the last episode. I'm at the point where either you start trading some of these players for players that can come in now and play for you for the next 8 years plus, or you start letting them play now and stop filling these holes with free agent old players or players like Andrew Kopp and you're paying them $5 million. I'd much rather you bring up a prospect for $800,000 than paying someone $5 million who can't even, Andrew Kopp, 38 games, 5 goals, 12 assists. I can get that out of Jonathan Berggren. For Pete's sake, granted, it's a hell of a lot cheaper, yeah. But no one's going to take Andrew Kopp, and we can't buy him out. So, but yeah, Derek, I know that this 4 years into the future thing, this is kind of like all over the place now. But yeah, I guess
you got to look at next year to realize what's going to happen in 4 years too.
Yeah, but speaking about these names, looking at it 4 years in the future, Larkin and Danielson, your 1 and 2 C. Cider and ASP is your 1 and 2 right-handed D pairing. Kosa and Augustine, 1A, 1B, 10D. And then you got Edvinsson, maybe Wallander, Johansson, and then Raymond, maybe Berggren and Mazur. What does that scream to you when I say all those names? Because to me, music to my ears, sweet friends, sweet, sweet music to my ears. If we stood pat 4 years from now and we did nothing, I love it, but it's not going to work out that way. But what do you think about that as Larkin and Danielson and all these other names and the pairings that we have going on for the future?
What we have right here obviously looks nice. As long as everyone keeps up with the production that they're doing and their skill set just improves instead of declines as they get older. And if that happens with everybody and some reason we end up keeping everybody and we just sit here for another 4 years while we kind of suffer as a almost playoff team, not playoff team, which obviously could happen. I don't want it to happen. I feel like why we're picking up all these players this year was to make a push, kind of, which technically is still possible for us. But at the same time, I'd rather just know that we have a team that can make it and we can just sit back, relax, and watch them dominate the league. And hopefully the players that we have that are technically on paper right now, supposed to do that for us, can work out in 4 years. Obviously, like you said, the probability of us having all these players still on the team in 4 years is probably nil to none, just because that's just how it works. We're not going to just wait for 4 years. Yardman's going to do something within the next 6 months here that's probably going to blow our minds, and we're probably going to be a little sad watching one of these prospects disappear. But in the long run, in the short run, it could actually help us out. But in the long run, hopefully they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Honestly, everything's working out fine and dandy now. I like the fact that you're going out and you're adding players like Daniel Sprongs on really cheap contracts that are basically on pace to score almost 30 goals for us and put up almost 60 points, right? For a really cheap contract under $3 million. And you're getting players like Ghost Bear. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Alex DeBrincat, you're going out and trading for him. You're getting players like Kane coming in. I love the fact that we're getting these players interested in Detroit, but we also have prospects that are very much interested in Detroit. And so you have to find the perfect balance between the two, because there's no new prospect on this team from the previous year. Before that, you had, I think it was not even Berggren. I don't think there was even one last year. And so you have to start doing that, right? You have to start rotating these prospects in and out. And you got to start figuring out what their value is before it's too late. Much kind of like Rasmussen and Veleno. Maybe it was too late. Veleno might be at the highest right now, his value. Rasmussen, his highest value was probably last season before he got injured. And so you got to start doing that with these
right now either. So
yeah. I mean, Berggren's doing good in Grand Rapids. He's over a point per game player with them, I think, if not a point per game player. I can actually check that real quick.
I believe he's 1 point over a point per game. 24 points in 23 games, I think.
Yep, 23 points in 22 games. And so, yeah, I mean, there's got to be a team out there that's probably interested in him. And if you got to, if Berggren's not happy with not being on the lineup, go ahead and do him a favor too and trade him. We'll just have to wait and see, like you said, because not all these players are going to be with the team. There's a good chance that Marco Kasper, maybe Edmondson won't be with this team. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I highly doubt it. Don't quote me on that. Don't shoot me. All right. Derek, do you have anything else you want to say about 4 years into the future?
Honestly, no, just because I know everything I probably will say now and look back at this in 4 years. I'll be like, wow, I was completely and utterly wrong.
Probably. Me too. Yeah, just like how we normally are. But this is why it's just a discussion. We're not here to be right or wrong. We're here to discuss on what we think, and we want y'all to do the same in the comments. Go ahead and do that. This is a friendly discussion. So
yeah, no one pays us to do this anyway, so we can say whatever we want.
No, we charge ourselves to do this, to talk to you guys. So, Derek, all right, that's enough of the main topics and looking into the future of the Detroit Red Wings. But let's go into the around the league news, and then we can close it off after that. And not really that much around the league news. We're probably missing a bunch, honestly. I know that there was one player suspended for a really bad hit, but I can't remember who it is. So if you want to take the time to look that up real quick, that would be awesome. If not, that's okay. But anyways, I'll fill the void. Former Red Wings legend Brendan Smith gives Connor Bedard a fractured jaw and placed him on the injured reserve list. Derek, I kind of want Brendan Smith back on the team. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. But
I know. I'm happy because this actually goes. I found out who it is, and it goes into one of the people. Actually, the next thing I have on here.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, Derek. What do you think about the hit from Brendan Smith onto Connor Bedard and fracturing his jaw? We were talking about this before we recorded, actually. So,
I mean, it was a great hit. Well, there's nothing bad about it. It was a solid shot right from the shoulder to his face. It just sucks that Connor was so much shorter than Brendan Smith. that his face lined up perfectly with his shoulder, and man, he popped his ass. Woo! Sorry for the language, but he just like ragdolled him to the ground, and he got up holding his face. I was like, oh, that jaw's gone. When I saw him walk off, I was like, oh, yep, his jaw's gone. He's going to be sewed up for the next month now. Chicago, goodbye.
Yeah, that's very brutal. It's injured reserve. I don't know how long it's going to take for a jaw. Probably like at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks, Derek.
He'll be out for a month, at least 3 weeks with it. Probably, if it's bad enough, it'll be wired shut. So
yeah, eating yogurt and drinking tropical smoothie.
That's not bad.
Man. No, it's probably. No, I don't know. It sounds bad. Yeah, honestly, I thought it was a clean hit. Good on Nick Foligno for going up to Brendan Smith. I believe they fought twice. First round sucked, but good on Brendan Smith for answering the bell as well. He's been around the league. He knows exactly what his job is and what you got to do. But I believe Nick Foligno also got injured for fighting Brendan Smith, and so now they're out Nick Foligno. And so Chicago Blackhawks with the first overall pick in the 2024 NHL draft. You get Macklin Celebrini with Connor Bedard. Congratulations. It's rigged. Once again, you guys get the next Kane and Tave duo combo, basically. So congratulations. It's not rigged. I think it is. Kind of.
I don't like it.
I'm mainly joking, but yeah. Okay. Moving along. Has Dylan Cozens become most hated player in the NHL? Is this the one you were talking about?
Yep. Because the one you're thinking about, because Dylan Cozens, after smacking, who was it? I forget who it was. One of the Minnesota players went down and he got nailed. He nailed him from behind on his knees into the boards.
Yeah.
And Zuccarello came up out of nowhere probably 10 seconds later and just smashes him from behind right into the boards. I was like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I don't condone it. I just think Dylan Cozens is just becoming the new Brad Marchand, but actually hated more so than Brad Marchand is. Like, I've never seen someone get the scrums turtle so many times because he doesn't want to get hit in the face after he just messes around with the other team. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. Take your medicine. You're going to be an asshole player. At least Brad Marchand will come back and start smacking you back.
Yeah.
Dylan Cozens does not do that right now. And he is not producing enough to be able to do any of the stuff he's doing. So he's annoying me too.
There definitely seems to be a lot of pettiness in the NHL lately when it comes to players getting hit and then people defending their teammates. I don't know. Is pettiness the wrong word? I think it's kind of pettiness. You know, you saw your player get hit. Okay, then you're going to do it. Okay, then you're going to be a little sissy and you're going to turtle, much like you said. So is that pettiness? Am I using the right word there or not really?
I feel like there's definitely another word that could be used that's not pettiness, but I'll go with it for now just because it's just so stupid. Like, you're playing this game. You've seen it played for so long. You know you're going to act like that. Take your medicine. Get punched in the face a couple times. It's what you deserve. Sorry, not sorry. Like, I understand like where you're coming from with people coming back. Like, the reffing right now is atrocious. And the bad part about the reffing being atrocious is that the teams are starting to take things into their own hands then. Because if the refs aren't going to call something like Zuccarello here on Cozens, after Cozens just smacks somebody on their knees into the boards, no call, of course he's going to get his shit rocked after that. And Zuccarello, 3-game suspension, probably not what he was hoping for, comes in, just crushes them into the boards from behind. I'm like, sorry, guys. Sorry, NHL. Sorry, refs. That's what's going to happen when you don't do your jobs.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Like, you gotta come down on this stupid, I go with it, the stupid petty shit. Like Dylan Cozens, they have to come down on this stuff, or you're going to have players getting the crap knocked out of them, getting injured, and getting suspended, all because little things aren't being called. Like, I don't want every every little penalty to be called. Of course not. That's not how hockey works. It's a rough game. A little slash here, a little poke there. No. But if you're going to hit someone from behind into the boards when they're on their knees, yeah, you probably should call that. Or if you want to go into our next topic, when someone, even though it doesn't look like it was on purpose and you find out it was on purpose later,
Go ahead, take it away. It's all you. You're already going. Go ahead, take it away.
We'll jump right into it with how Hart, our favorite player in the Red Wings, who slew-footed our beautiful DeBrincat, got a only $4,400 fine for, who was that? Two-handing, what was it? The Jets, one of their upcoming stars, Perfetti, right into the face. Multiple stitches, and the best part.
This one.
You what?
I must have missed this one.
Are you missed this? Oh yeah, this is a big one right now because everybody's fumed because the best part about this all, what's his name? Perfetti? He was wearing a wire the whole time for like some weird thing that the Jets were doing for like, behind the scenes. And Hart comes up to him and tells him into the mic, "Yeah, I did that on purpose. That was intentional. I had to get you. Someone had to get it back for Kaprizov getting hurt." And I was like,
so yeah, I'm watching the video right now of him saying, "Yeah, I did it on purpose." What? Oh my God.
And the worst part about that is, because that stupid rule they made forever ago with the NHL and having people wired up, they can't use any of that to come back on him.
Yeah, so right here, Spin Chicklets 4 days ago posted a video saying Ryan Hartman straight up told Cole Perfetti he high-sticked him on purpose because of the Dylan/Kaprizov incident.
Kaprizov got...
Get over it, dude. Hartman, get over it. This is why I dropped you from fantasy hockey, dude. Play hockey, not dumb stuff like this. Oh my goodness.
Like, I get it. Kaprizov's, like, you go, your best player gets injured. Yeah, you go after somebody. Obviously, Hartman went after the Jets' new up-and-coming best player. But still, there's so many other things. Kaprizov got hit hard. That was it. Hart just two-hands someone to the face with a stick.
Yeah.
I think got like 4 or 5 stitches he had to get. Like, come on. That's not hockey. That's just petty-ass bullshit.
That's petty. I used it right that time.
Like, if you're going to do anything, like, go ahead. You can target that guy. Make it clean. Hit him while he's coming around the net with the puck. Smoke his ass. Whatever. Stop with the stick shit. Like, it's horrible. Yeah. People are trying to kill people with their sticks right now in faces. Like, I don't get it. Like, when did this year become such a weird year for sticks going to faces? Like, stop. Just hit somebody.
Just hit somebody. Oh. Yeah, I agree with you, Derek. Yeah, it's got to stop. The league's got to do something about it. They got to tell the refs to take more control over the game before the players start losing their minds and going back shit crazy on other players. Yes, sorry, that is my one swear word for the day. It is towards the end of the episode, so worth it. Derek, that's it. That's all we got for today. So yeah, I think we can go on my rant. Yeah, I think we can close it off now. So, but before we do the upcoming games, there's a game today. By the time you guys watch this, it's probably already Monday or whatever day. Maybe you're watching this 3 months from now. Who knows? But on January 7th, 2024, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Red Wings do play the Mighty Ducks. And then next week, or this upcoming week, Thursday, they play against the Edmonton Oilers, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which we will be doing a recording before then. But just letting y'all know about that. But Derek, let's go ahead and close it off, buddy. So give them your final thoughts.
Oh, let's go Red Wings. Let's get another dub tonight. Let's get the win streak for 2024 going. Hopefully we see some movement with our prospects. I don't want to be inside Yzerman's mind, so I'm just going to let him do that stuff right now, and hopefully it turns out for the best for us. So let's go Red Wings. Let's go prospects. Let's kick the Ducks' butt. Amen.
Amen. All right. I like it. Yeah, my final thoughts are let's go Red Wings. I still think that we're a playoff team. Congratulations to Trey Augustine for winning gold. Team USA. It's our sport now. USA. That's what everyone on social media was saying. It was so funny. USA did win with class. Johansson, you probably shouldn't have done what you did to Lane Hudson. You made Lane Hudson very mad. ASP, very good job out there. That silver medal, we're very proud of you. That was awesome. Nate Danielson, we're still proud of you no matter what. Sorry, Team Canada just did not know how to utilize you properly. But you will be great for us 4 years in the future. The team 4 years in the future is looking great. Yzerman, Chris, you guys are doing a fantastic job, but please start drafting a little bit better outside of the first round. We need Kaprizov type of players that you find randomly in the second round and can just come in and make a huge difference right away. And so, yeah, let's go Red Wings once again. Those are my final thoughts. We miss you, Matt. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And until next time, we'll see y'all on the next one on Hockey Town University. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
I always hit my mic.
You made it like 5 times already.